Que lo que Sairenis here, and in today's Too Many Q&A Tuesday, we're going to talk about budgeting for back-to-school shopping. Pues ya tú sabes, let's get right into it. Today's question is, hi Sairenis, I saw that your kids are back in school. My daughter is 3 going on 4 and will be starting pre-K for the first time. I'm getting ready to create a budget for back-to-school shopping, and I wanted to know if you had any tips to save money and stay on budget. This is such a great question. I know so many parents are probably getting ready for back to school shopping. My kids just started, and you just don't know exactly what to expect when your kids are starting school for the first time, especially. When my daughter first started pre-K, she was a little intimidated, and my son, on the other hand, when he started pre-K this year, he just ran into the classroom. He didn't even say goodbye to me. It literally broke my heart. And because you just don't know what your kids are going to be expecting, if they're going to be excited, they're going to be anxious, you want to be as prepared as possible. And even though I am a new mom into, the whole school system, I have so many tips that I want to share with you to help you stay on budget and save money. Because you and I both know it is a lot easier said than done, especially when it comes to back to school shopping. One of the first lessons that I learned when it comes to back to school shopping is that you can't realistically create a list or a budget if you don't know what your kids need and what they don't need for class. Every single grade is different. That's why it's so important to participate in the parent orientation. Make sure you have your updated email address with the school. And if you're not getting this information, make sure you are calling the school. Now, a small parenting hack that I want to share here is to make friends with some of the people that go to your kids' school, the adults, because a lot of times they have more insight on the teachers, on what the kids actually need depending on what grade they're in, and how the school actually functions. It kind of gives you the 411 of how the school really works. Before you start creating your back to school shopping list, there's a few questions that you need to have answered beforehand. Like if the school requires uniforms, and if so, what colors are they? If they do have uniforms, are they required to wear them 5 days a week? Do they have casual days, workout days? Do they need PE clothes? What's going on there? And also when it comes to meals, is the meals going to be provided? Is there like a meal program you need to sign up for? Do you need to pack them lunch every single day? And lastly, you need to know what supplies the kids actually need for their grade. Every single class is different, like I said. Do they need backpacks, lunch pails, water bottles, crayons, pencils? What is the list and where is it at? One thing that I realized when it came to pre-K was that my son didn't even, it wasn't required for him to bring a backpack or a lunch pail. They literally said just bring a mask, a water bottle, and extra clothes just in case he has an accident on himself. That allowed me to save a lot of money and a lot of stress from focusing on things I didn't really need to be worrying about. Due to COVID, you might want to ask your school some additional questions, like if masks are going to be provided or not, if the schools do get shut down, will laptops be provided, and if the school is in need of donations for hand sanitizer, disinfecting wipes, Kleenex, Ziploc bags, whatever it may be. I think the most important thing here is that you are creating a holistic back-to-school shopping list with everything that you actually need and that you cautiously want to make sure that you have. One back-to-school budgeting tip that I learned the hard way this year is that you need 3 different lists when it comes to back-to-school shopping. One, reviewing everything that you think that you already have in your house, like if you have pencils, crayons, markers. Another list for everything the kid's gonna need in class, and another list for things that you need to get, like construction paper, Play-Doh, lots of Play-Doh if your kid's in kindergarten. And the reason that I share this with you is because I thought that I had my kids' school water bottles ready to go for the first day of school, and then I realized that the straws are all missing. The kids, they just disappeared. And I was so heartbroken that my kids didn't have their water bottles the first day of school and everyone else had it. And it just makes you feel horrible. So please double check everything that you have in your house physically. Double check, okay, I have this, okay, I have it. Because it really does suck when you don't have everything that you need when it comes back to school shopping. Clothing is a big part of back to school budgets. And if you know that your kids are going to need to wear uniforms, that is a big plus. On top of having to buy your kids jackets and sweaters and shoes, when it comes to uniforms, you can be a little bit more strategic on how you manage that. Once you know the uniform colors and how many uniforms they are actually going to be wearing during the week, now you can be a little bit more strategic on how many uniform sets you actually need. What I personally do is I buy 7 uniform sets for my daughter and son in their current size, and then I buy 3 extra uniforms in a size up. Now, the whole reason that I do this is that this way I have 5 uniforms for the week, and then I have 1 uniform to bring to school just in case I have an accident, and 1 extra uniform at home because sometimes, they spill cereal, they have accidents at home, things happen. And on top of that, I still have 3 uniforms that are a size up in the closet just in case my kids have a growth spurt. When it comes to uniforms, I want to share a few tips. When back to school season ends, it literally ends, and it's very difficult to find uniforms in the actual stores. It's also hard to find uniforms for small sizes like 3, size 4, even 5, especially if you have tall kids like mine. 5X and 6X is very difficult to do. So online shopping is actually your friend. And one of the main reasons that I like online shopping versus going into the stores a lot of times is because I get to fill up my cart and see exactly how much everything's going to cost me, including taxes, which makes it a lot easier when it comes to budgeting and trying to price match with different stores. Now, some of the stores that I like buying uniforms and even clothes for my kids is Target, Walmart, Amazon, Kohl's, Old Navy, Gap, and even Costco. Yes, Costco sells uniforms, y'all. When it comes to budgeting for back to school shopping, having a sinking fund that you've put in your short-term goals account that you've been saving for over time is going to be ideal. But a lot of times that's not the situation. If you haven't pre-saved for back to school shopping, then you're going to have to look at your budget and make the numbers work. That means there are going to be a little bit of sacrifices and inconveniences to your own personal budget, whether that's saving less money, investing less money, or making some cuts to our lifestyle expenses like not eating out, cutting our budget for entertainment, or even our own clothing budget. Some of these inconveniences are going to have to be made to make the numbers work. As parents, we are always open to making these sacrifices, especially when it comes for our kids and their education. A small recap when it comes to helping me save money and stay on budget when it comes to back to school shopping is that 1, I have a very cautious shopping list, as you can tell. I love price matching, and I always set money aside to make sure that I have enough money to cover these expenses without going into credit card debt. Now, the last tip that I use to actually help me make money when it comes to back to school shopping is using Rakuten. I use Rakuten when it comes to buying clothes for my kids, uniforms, Christmas presents, you name it, I'm using it. I love Rakuten because it's a cash app where it allows you to get a certain percentage in cash back, discounts, and different promotions on all the stores that you're already using. And for me, I find it so beneficial to know that I can get a little bit of cash back to buying the things that I was already going to buy, like uniforms for my kids. Now, I do want to note that I use Rakuten in a more strategic way to help me focus on my budget and not get distracted by all of these cashback opportunities. I have a video that goes into more detail how to use Rakuten and how I use Rakuten with using the extension button as well. Now, right now they do have a sign-up bonus where you and I will both get $30 cash back when you make a qualified purchase by using the link down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I know it took a lot longer than 2 minutes for sure, but if you want to learn more information about how I shop for uniforms or how I use Rakuten, definitely check out my blog, thepoisedlifestyle.com. And if you're an experienced back-to-school shopper and you have some tricks and tips that you want to share with the community, please leave a comment down below. I know we will all appreciate it for sure. And on top of that, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on social media, and share this information with all of your friends and family. Bye.